Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we are going to be diving into the all-new iMac.
Yes.
And even if you think you know iMacs, I think Apple has some surprises in store for you. We're going to be pulling all the info directly from Apple's website to really figure out what makes this iMac tick.
Yeah, and one of the things that really jumped out at me is this Apple Intelligence.
Okay.
They're calling it a personal intelligence system built into the iMac.
So Apple Intelligence, what is that? Like, what does that even mean for the average user?
Well, you can kind of think of it like a really powerful assistant that can help with all sorts of things.
Okay.
Like, say you're writing an important email, Apple Intelligence can step in and proofread it. Maybe suggest better phrasing.
Okay.
Even summarize the key points for you, just like that.
So it's not just about catching typos.
Sure.
It can actually help you improve your writing.
Exactly.
That's impressive.
And it goes way beyond just text. Like, imagine searching through all your photos. Instead of using keywords or dates, you just describe what you're looking for, like photos of my family at the beach. And Apple Intelligence finds them.
That's way more intuitive than scrolling through tons of pictures.
Yeah. And it gets even more interesting. Apple Intelligence can actually create images based on what you describe.
What?
They're calling it Image Playground.
Wow.
The creative potential it's crazy.
It's like I could describe a surreal landscape or like a futuristic city.
Yeah.
And my Mac will just create an image. That sounds like science fiction.
It really does. It's like having your own personal artist, like on call 24/7.
This all sounds amazing, but I gotta admit, the idea of AI handling my personal stuff kind of makes me think about privacy.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah, it's a valid concern, for sure.
Like, how do I know my information is actually safe?
Well, it seems like Apple's taking privacy seriously with this. They say Apple Intelligence processes everything right on your Mac.
Okay.
So your data's not going anywhere.
So my photos, my writing, it's all staying on my computer.
That's right. It never leaves your device.
That does make me feel better. But what about for stuff that needs more power?
Right,
Does it still do everything locally?
So for more complex stuff, Apple Intelligence can use something called private cloud compute.
Okay.
It taps into larger models, but they say your privacy is still protected.
So even when it needs more power, it's still keeping my data safe.
Yeah, that's the idea. It leverages Apple silicon and everything to keep it private.
Okay, good to know. So we talked about the brains of the new iMac. What about the brawn?
Yeah.
How does this thing actually perform? Apple always talks about faster. But what does that mean for someone using it every day?
Okay, so this iMac has the new M4 chip, and it's a big jump in performance. Apple says it's up to 6 times faster than most Intel-based iMacs.
6 times? What does that even look like?
Like, imagine editing 4K video with no lag or rendering complex 3D models super fast.
Whoa.
That's the kind of speed we're talking about.
So no matter what I'm doing, if I'm editing videos or just browsing the web, I'm going to feel a difference.
Oh, yeah. Even everyday stuff will feel way smoother.
Wow, okay. And for, like, the really demanding stuff, how much faster is it?
They claim the M4 is 2.1 times faster than the M1 on things like video editing and 3D rendering.
So it's not just faster, it's way more capable.
Yeah, for sure. It's clear they designed this for both pros and everyday users.
Okay, so we talked about the brains, the brawn. Let's talk about beauty.
All right.
What about the screen on this new iMac? What are we working with?
Get ready for some serious eye candy. The new iMac has a 24-inch Retina display, 4.5K resolution.
4.5K.
To put that in perspective, that's like 5 times the resolution of most 24-inch PC all-in-ones.
Wow, that's a lot of pixels.
And it's almost 70% brighter. 500 nits?
So 5 times the resolution. What kind of a difference does that actually make?
Imagine text so sharp it looks like it's printed.
Okay.
And colors so vibrant they pop right off the screen.
That sounds incredible.
And with all those extra pixels, you have tons of space to work with. Perfect for multitasking.
So it's not just about looking good. It's about getting things done, too.
Exactly. And it's not just resolution and brightness. It uses the P3 wide color gamut.
So what does that mean, P3?
It means it can reproduce over 1 billion colors.
1 billion colors. That's got to be more than we can even see, right?
It is. But basically, the colors you do see are going to be incredibly accurate and lifelike.
Okay, I see.
It's perfect for photographers, designers, anyone who works with visuals.
And for people who work in bright rooms, like what about glare?
They've got that covered, too. There's a nano texture glass option.
Right, the nano texture glass. That reduces glare, right?
Yep. It helps diffuse light, especially if you have windows or overhead lights.
You get a clear view without sacrificing the quality.
Exactly.
It sounds like Apple really went all out with this display.
They really did. It's a visual feast.
And speaking of things that enhance the user experience, let's talk about the camera, mics, and speakers.
Yeah, those are crucial these days.
Especially with all the video calls and online meetings.
Right.
What's Apple done to improve those on this iMac?
So they've included a 12MP center stage camera. Uses AI to keep you in frame during video calls, even if you move around.
Oh, that's cool.
And it can adjust to include other people as they join.
Like it's smart enough to know when someone else is there.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
So it's like having your own personal camera operator.
Exactly.
That's awesome, especially if you're in a lot of meetings.
Yeah. And there's a feature called Desk View.
Okay.
It lets you show a top-down view of your workspace while you're still on screen.
It's like I could be working on something, and the camera can show what I'm doing.
Exactly. It's perfect for music lessons, crafting demos, things like that.
Desk View, that's a really cool idea.
Yeah. And the audio quality is also top-notch. Studio quality mics with beamforming.
Beamforming, what's that?
It basically focuses on your voice and minimizes background noise.
So no more dogs barking in the background of my meetings.
Exactly. It's all about making you sound your best.
Okay, that's great. And what about the speakers?
The iMac has a 6-speaker sound system.
Oh, wow.
With spatial audio and Dolby Atmos.
Dolby Atmos. That's like what they have in movie theaters, right?
Yep. It creates an immersive sound experience. Like the audio is all around you.
So whether I'm watching a movie or just listening to music, it's going to sound incredible.
That's the idea. It's a huge step up from traditional stereo sound.
Right. Sounds like they really focused on the audio and video experience.
They did. No corners cut.
Okay. Now, what about the software? What operating system is this thing running?
The new iMac runs the latest version of macOS, Apple's operating system.
And macOS, it's known for being really user-friendly, right? Even for people who are new to Apple.
Yeah, Apple has made macOS super intuitive and easy to use, no matter your tech skills.
I've heard people say that Macs just work. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that. Apple designs its hardware and software to work together seamlessly.
So it's like a smooth, integrated experience.
Exactly. And one of the key things about macOS is its focus on privacy and security.
So my personal information is going to be protected when I'm using this iMac.
Oh, absolutely. Apple takes data protection very seriously. There are tons of safeguards built right into macOS.
Okay, that's good to know. What are some of the things in macOS that make it good for, like getting work done and being creative?
Yeah. One big feature is called universal control.
Okay, I've heard of that.
You can use one keyboard and mouse to control your iMac and other Apple devices, like your iPad or MacBook.
Wait, so I can like move my mouse from my iMac screen to my iPad seamlessly?
Exactly, as if they're one big desktop.
That's wild. And what about AirDrop? That's for sharing files, right?
Yeah, it makes transferring files between Apple devices incredibly easy.
Like how easy?
No more emailing files to yourself.
Oh, wow.
Or using USB drives. Just a couple clicks and you can share photos, documents, anything.
So it's all about making things simple and connected.
Exactly. Once you use these features, it's hard to imagine going back.
All right, so macOS isn't just an operating system. It's like the glue that holds the whole Apple ecosystem together.
Yeah, it's all about creating a cohesive user experience across all your devices.
Okay, we've talked about it a lot, but I want to get into the specifics a bit. Let's start with storage. What kind of storage options does this iMac offer?
So the new iMac uses a solid-state drive.
Okay, an SD.
Which is way faster than a traditional hard drive.
So no more waiting forever for things to load?
Nope. SSDs are lightning fast and much more durable.
Okay, good to know. And how much storage space are we talking about?
The base model comes with a good amount of storage, and you can always upgrade to more.
Okay, that makes sense. Now let's talk graphics.
Yeah.
We talked about the M4 chip's GPU earlier, but what does that mean for like creative work and everyday use?
So the M4 has a powerful GPU with something called hardware-accelerated ray tracing.
Okay, break that down for me. What is ray tracing?
Imagine light reflecting off a car's bumper.
Mm-hmm.
With ray tracing, the computer actually calculates how the light bounces, creating super realistic reflections.
So if I'm playing a video game or watching a movie with special effects, it'll look amazing.
Exactly. It brings a whole new level of realism to computer graphics.
And for like video editors and designers, what kind of impact does this have?
It's huge. Video editors can work with tons of 4K video without any problems.
Okay.
Designers can create complex 3D models easily.
So they're not just seeing prettier pictures, they can work faster and better.
Absolutely. The M4 GPU and the Retina display make this iMac a dream for visual work.
And for the everyday user who's not a pro, what will they notice?
Even if you're not a pro, you'll still notice smoother performance and better visuals. Browsing the web, watching videos, it'll all be more enjoyable.
So it's not just about creating content, it's about consuming it too.
Exactly. It makes the whole experience better.
All right, we've covered a lot of tech stuff, but what about the design? Apple's known for their sleek look. How does this iMac fit in?
The design is phenomenal. It's incredibly thin, lightweight, and comes in a bunch of vibrant colors.
I love the colors. It's not just the same old silver or space gray.
Right. It feels more modern and fun.
And the colors are everywhere, right? Not just the computer itself.
Yeah, it's the whole design, the power cable, the keyboard, the mouse, everything.
Oh, that's a nice touch.
And speaking of the keyboard, the Magic Keyboard now has a dedicated emoji key.
A dedicated emoji key. That's awesome.
It's a small detail, but makes a big difference.
I can see myself using that a lot.
And we talked about center stage, but what about the camera itself?
Yeah, what are the specs on that?
The new iMac has a 12MP FaceTime HD camera. It's a big upgrade, designed for clear video calls even in low light.
So no more grainy video calls.
Exactly. You'll always look your best.
And I'm guessing the improved camera is also great for recording videos and stuff?
Definitely. The higher resolution makes it perfect for all sorts of video stuff.
Okay, it seems like Apple has really thought of everything with this new iMac.
They really have. It's packed with tech, well-designed, and easy to use.
It's hard to find anything bad to say about it so far.
And it's a truly impressive machine.
And you know what else is impressive?
What's that?
How energy efficient it is. Apple's always been big on sustainability, and this iMac is no different.
Yeah, it's designed to use minimal power.
So it's good for the environment and my wallet.
Exactly. It's a win-win.
That's fantastic. It's always good to see companies prioritizing sustainability.
Absolutely. And speaking of prioritizing important things, let's talk about accessibility.
Okay.
Apple has always been a leader in making their products usable for people with disabilities, and the new iMac has a lot of great accessibility features.
Like what?
Well, for people with visual impairments, there's VoiceOver.
Right.
Which is a screen reader that describes everything on the screen.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
There's also Zoom, which magnifies the screen content.
Okay.
And display accommodations, which adjust the colors to make them easier to see.
So even people with low vision can enjoy the Retina display.
Exactly. And for people with motor impairments, there's switch control.
Okay.
It lets you control the iMac with adaptive switches. Wow. There's also dictation, so you can type using your voice.
Right.
And Siri, which can do a bunch of tasks hands-free.
It's really great that Apple has considered all these different needs and made the iMac accessible to so many people.
It's a testament to their commitment to inclusivity.
Well said.
Yeah.
Okay, we've covered so much today, but before we move on, I want to talk about the most important thing. The price.
Of course.
And when we can actually get our hands on this thing.
So the new iMac is priced competitively with other high-end all-in-ones.
Okay.
The price goes up as you add more storage or memory, but it's a good value for what you're getting.
And when can I buy one?
Pre-orders start today, and it'll be in stores next week.
So if you want the future of computing, it's right around the corner.
It is.
This has been an incredible look at the new iMac. I'm blown away by all the features and technology.
It's really a game changer.
Yeah. It seems like Apple is pushing the boundaries of what's possible with a desktop computer.
Absolutely. This iMac is a testament to Apple's innovation and their focus on the user.
And on that note, we'll take a short break and be back soon with more on the iMac.
Sounds good. All right, welcome back to the deep dive. So we just spent some time digging into the new iMac's hardware.
Yeah, pretty impressive stuff.
But I think it's worth looking at how the macOS software really makes this iMac sing.
Absolutely. All those specs and features are great.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's the software that we actually use.
Exactly. And one of the things that makes macOS so cool is how well it works with the whole Apple ecosystem.
Yeah, with those universal control and AirDrop features, I'm really curious about those.
Me too. So universal control, have you ever been working on your iMac and needed something from your iPad?
Oh, all the time.
Well, with universal control, you can just move your mouse from your iMac screen over to your iPad like it's one big desktop.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah. No more switching between keyboards and mice.
That's amazing. And AirDrop, that's for sharing files, right?
Yep. You can send stuff between your iMac and your iPhone, iPad, other Macs, just like that.
I've used AirDrop before, and it's so fast.
It's like magic.
Now, we talked about the amazing Retina display.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
But does the software do anything special to make it even better?
Oh, yeah. macOS has really good color management.
Okay.
So the colors you see on screen are super accurate, which is important for photographers and designers.
So the colors on my iMac will match what I see if I print something.
Exactly. Mac OS is known for its color accuracy.
That's awesome. And what about like older apps? With such a high-resolution display,
right,
won't some things look blurry?
Mac OS has something called HID-PI scaling.
Okay.
So everything stays sharp and clear, even on the 4.5K display.
So even my old apps will look good.
They will. They might not be as crisp as newer apps designed for HID-PI.
Right.
But Mac OS makes everything look its best.
That's good to know. It really seems like Mac OS is made to get the most out of this iMac.
It is. It's all about creating a seamless experience that uses every bit of power this iMac has.
Now, I gotta ask, what about gaming? Is this iMac a good choice for gamers?
That's a good question. Macs haven't always been known for gaming.
Right.
Mostly because there weren't many games for them. But that's changing.
Really?
Yeah, Apple's been working hard to get game developers on board.
Okay.
And we're seeing more and more big-name games coming to macOS.
And with the M4 chip and all that graphics power,
right,
it seems like this iMac could actually be a great gaming machine.
It could be. The M4 is amazing for graphics, and the Retina display makes games look incredible.
So for someone who wants a computer for work, creativity, and gaming, this iMac could be it.
I think so. It's really a versatile machine.
Okay, so we talked about how great Mac OS is.
Yeah.
But what about security? How does this iMac keep my data safe?
Security is a top priority for Apple. macOS has a built-in firewall that protects your computer from unauthorized access.
So it's like a shield that keeps the bad guys out.
Exactly. It filters out any suspicious activity trying to get in.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
But what about those nasty viruses?
macOS has a really good track record when it comes to viruses and malware.
Oh, it's good.
It's built on Unix, which is inherently more secure than Windows.
Okay.
Plus, Apple has all sorts of security features to make it even harder for malware to get in.
So while no computer's completely safe,
right,
it sounds like macOS is pretty darn good at keeping things secure.
It is, and Apple keeps updating it with new security patches.
To stay ahead of the bad guys.
Exactly.
And what about privacy? We talked about Apple Intelligence keeping data on the device. Anything else that protects my personal information?
Yeah, there's something called Gatekeeper.
Okay.
It prevents you from accidentally installing apps from shady sources.
That's smart.
It checks every app to make sure it's from a legitimate developer and that it's safe.
So I don't have to worry about downloading something that'll steal my info.
That's the idea. Gatekeeper is like an extra layer of protection.
Okay, that's a relief. Sounds like Apple's really serious about security and privacy.
They are. It's built into everything they do.
All right, let's shift gears a bit and talk about ports and connectivity. What kind of ports does this iMac have?
It's got a great mix of ports for both new and older devices.
Okay.
It has multiple Thunderbolt 4 ports, which are super versatile.
Thunderbolt 4, that's the newest one, right?
Yep. It's incredibly fast and can be used for all sorts of things.
Like what?
External displays, hard drives, docking stations, you name it.
So I could have my external hard drive, a 4K monitor, and my Ethernet adapter all plugged in at the same time.
No problem. Thunderbolt 4 is a powerhouse.
That's awesome. And if I have older devices that don't use Thunderbolt?
There are adapters you can use.
Okay, good to know.
Right.
It's good to have options.
And you know what else is cool?
What?
The power connector.
Yeah.
It's color matched and magnetically snaps into place.
Oh, I love those little design touches.
Me too. They make a difference.
Okay, so it needs to be plugged in, obviously.
Right.
But does it have any kind of battery backup, just in case the power goes out?
This iMac doesn't have a built-in battery like a laptop. It's meant to be plugged in all the time. But most external hard drives and stuff have their own battery backups.
Right.
So your data should be safe if the power flickers for a bit.
Good point. Now, another thing that's important to me is reliability.
Of course.
Apple products are known for lasting a long time. Is this iMac going to hold up?
Apple has a great track record of building quality products.
Yeah.
This iMac is no exception. They use great materials, and it goes through tons of testing.
So this is a computer I can expect to use for years.
I think so. Apple products are known for their longevity.
Good to know. And what about software updates?
Apple provides free macOS updates for years.
Really? For years?
Yep. So your iMac will keep running smoothly and securely.
That's awesome. So I won't have to buy a new computer just to get the latest features.
Nope. You'll get updates for a long time.
That's a huge plus. It's like an investment that keeps paying off.
Exactly. It's designed to stay current.
Okay, last thing I want to touch on is customer support. What if I run into a problem?
Apple has amazing customer support.
They do?
Yeah, you can get help online, over the phone, or even go to an Apple store.
So I have options.
You do. Their support team is really good.
That's good to know. It's always nice to know there's help if you need it.
Exactly. They want you to have a good experience.
Okay, I think we've really dug deep into this iMac.
Yeah, we have.
I'm so impressed with everything they've done.
It's a remarkable machine, for sure.
Yeah, Apple has really outdone themselves. Stay tuned, because we'll be back with even more on the iMac.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We spent a lot of time talking about the new iMac, all the features, the specs, but now I want to kind of zoom out and think about the bigger picture. What does this new tech, especially Apple Intelligence, what does it mean for, the future?
It's really interesting to think about how Apple Intelligence could change how we use computers. Imagine your computer isn't just a tool anymore. It's like a partner. It understands what you want to do and helps you get there. That's a big shift. It's like we're not just telling our computers what to do, we're working with them.
Exactly. And that brings up a lot of questions like, how will this change creativity? Will we get more done? Or will we become too reliant on AI?
It's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah, for sure.
There's so much potential, but we have to be careful too.
Absolutely. And it's important to talk about this now while it's still early. We have to think about how AI fits into our lives and make sure it's used in a good way.
Yeah, it's not just about the tech itself.
Right.
It's about how we use it and what kind of world we create with it.
And I think that's what's so exciting about this new iMac. It's not just a cool gadget.
Yeah.
It's like a starting point for these bigger conversations about AI and what it means for us.
I think you're right. This iMac is like a window into the future, and it's our job to make sure it's a good future.
For everyone, yeah.
Well, I think we've covered pretty much everything about the new iMac. We've seen the features, the tech, and even talked about what it all means.
We've gone deep.
And for anyone who wants to learn even more, I'd say go check out Apple's website.
Yeah, they've got all the details there.
Videos, demos, you name it.
And of course, we always love to hear from our listeners.
Absolutely. If you have any thoughts, questions, anything, hit us up on social media or through our website.
We'd love to chat.
But for now, I think it's time to sign off. Embrace the future of computing. Explore what Apple Intelligence can do. But remember, use this tech wisely to make things better for yourself and for everyone else.
Well said. Happy computing, everyone.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.